What's up, guys? Jack D. Benedetto, BrickHousePower.com. Okay, before we get started, please subscribe, please like, please share the videos. I'm trying to grow the channel. I'm trying to get as much good information out there as possible. There's a lot of messed up, wrong information out there, and I'm just trying to help people out. A lot of beginners, a lot of intermediates, even advanced people are just getting the wrong information. I'm just trying to do my part. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, long femurs and squatting. Why you are leaning over, why you feel uncomfortable or in the squat. There's a few different reasons. The obvious reason is your femurs are long and you're kind of not built to squat with your torso upright like somebody that has proportionate leverages with their femurs being like 25% of their total length or shorter. That's why they'll have a more upright or erect position with their torso, and they just feel more comfortable during the squat. You'll see people like Ray or Jesus, and they're very erect, especially Ray. Ray is like kind of almost straight up and down. He just pops right back up. And then you have people like Lane Norton. He's very leaned over in his squats, really long femurs. So how do we get a little bit more of a upright angle and feel a little bit more comfortable? Well, number one, you want to make sure the bar is positioned in the center line, right over your ankles as much as possible. You don't want to be forward, you don't want to be lean forward, you don't want to be lean back. Lean back, you're try to stand straight up, you're going to fall backwards. Lean forward, you're going to exaggerate the lean that you already have and make the lift even harder than it already is for you. Number two, check your ankle mobility. You need as much ankle mobility as possible. If you're lacking in ankle mobility, you need to work on that. There's a few tests you can do. One of them will be stand about 5 inches away from the wall, get into a kneeling position, and drive your knee forward while keeping your heel on the ground. If you can't touch your knee to the wall, you're most likely lacking in ankle mobility. And after you can help with that ankle mobility by doing, like, let's say 3 to 5 sets of 5-second holds. And if you have like a pinching in the front of the ankle, you can put a band around the top part of your foot where it meets the ankle. Don't go on the actual bone, the shin bone, tibia, but you want to go on the top part. I can't remember the name of the bone right now. I'll put it down in the screen here. But you want to put it down on that bone so that it kind of slides a little bit better. Let's see. You can actually put your foot on top of a bench and drive forward doing the 5-second holds. Make sure not to drive your knee out or anything when you go straight forward. When you're number 2 or 3, I forget which one I'm on already. Number 3, when you're squatting, try and open your hips. This will actually allow your torso to drop straight down in between your legs rather than leaning forward. You won't necessarily get especially the bigger lifters, you won't get that rebound of your belly off of the legs, but at least you'll be more erect in your squat with your torso, and the leverages will be way better, so the squat will actually feel easier. So that'll actually help the angle of your torso. So ankle mobility, you're here. Opening up your hips, you're here. No, I'm giving an example. You might probably not even going to be, you're not going to be here, but you might go from here to here to here. You're going to tick up, and then you can after that. I never recommend raised heel shoes, and that's a preference because I always think people should lift without those, because I've seen too many catastrophic injuries with raised heel shoes, with quad tears and stuff like that. Puts too much pressure on the patella. But for people with really long femurs, this can actually help mitigate other injuries, like with lower back injuries and stuff like that. So raised heel shoes, I would definitely recommend getting a raised heel shoe that has a wider toe box. It's very comfortable. please don't spend $350 on a raised heel shoe. You don't need to. Just get something that's really comfortable, really solid on the heel, that doesn't like squish down, and you're good to go. And in the midfoot, you can, maybe it has some Velcro where you can really tie that foot down, and you're really good. If I find some good ones, I'll put those in the description too. After you raise the heel up, you're actually kind of making your shin artificially longer. So now you're making your leverages a little bit more equal. So your shin isn't so much shorter than your actual femur. And now you're going to increase the angle of your torso again, because now you can put that angle a little bit better. So you can even test this by just squatting regular with no heels, nothing under your heel, and then if you don't have raised heel shoes, and then put something under your heel and squat again in the mirror and look on the side or record yourself and see the angle of your torso. You'll notice that you're more erect and you actually feel more comfortable. So to kind of go over it, you want to make sure that you want to make sure that you are balanced in your squat. You want to make sure your ankle mobility is up to par. You want to make sure that you're opening up your hips, and you want to make sure that you have a raised heel shoe. Those 4 things will really make your squat feel a lot more comfortable. Now, on top of that, your hips can be in anteversion or retroversion. I know, weird words, right? Basically, that could mean, anteversion could mean that you want to, the way your hips are structured, they basically, you don't want to point your feet out. It's uncomfortable for you. You want to point your feet more straight, and that feels more comfortable. People that have retroversion, it's more like their hips are kind of more towards the back, and it makes them want to point their feet more out. They try to point their feet straighter, and they basically can't even hit depth. It's painful in their hips. They get a pinching feeling. So if you have long femurs and you have retroversion, and a coach is saying chest up and point your feet straight, you're never going to hit depth. It's going to be painful, and you're going to be so lean forward, it's going to be like a good morning. So pay attention to that. Look for, do some internal and external tests with you sitting and laying face down. What's his name? Dr. Horschick from Squat University. He put out a really good video. I'll link him down below. He put a really good video out on that. Those are really good tests too, on top of the long femur. You can check that out. Trying to think anything else. Future Jack here, I'd like to mention that doing belt squats is a way for you to get extra work in without putting the extra stress on your body, unlike your short femur counterparts. So keep that in mind. I think that's about it off the top of my head. I always make these videos when I get an idea and just kind of pump them out for you guys. And if you guys have any questions or any other video ideas, put them in the comments. Let me know, and I'll just try to help with 30 years of knowledge, spitting it out there. Again, try and subscribe, like, share the videos. BrickHousePower.com for coaching and programming, consulting. So I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.